So Donald Trump Jr. gave a speech at a conservative conference, and he made us stink, literally and figuratively, with the noises he was making. And I don't want to just make it about the flatulence. We're going to play you the clip, but I want to keep focus also on what Donald Trump Jr. was saying and how it's actually really harmful as well as pathetic on his end. So let's listen to the clip, watch the clip, and then talk about the significance a little bit.
You know, then you had the Army video, the Army recruitment video, I guess it was, right? And I put up an Instagram post comparing and contrasting the U.S. Army with the Russian Army, right? The U.S. Army video starts, it started off with a little girl from San Francisco with 2 moms. I think that's wonderful. I could care less. What the hell does it have to do with recruiting for the Army? The Russian one is like a guy that you would not want to mess with, like shooting guns and stuff like that. The other one was like they're auditioning for the next Disney princess.
So you can hear there towards the end, he lets one rip accidentally, the mic catches it. I wasn't sure at first either. I know a lot of people weren't sure at first, but I did find a really good thread where everyone was like, yeah, he definitely did let one go. But I don't want that to fully distract from what he was saying. Donald Trump Jr., in recent days especially, has become an expert on the military, even though he and his family have no connection to the military. His dad didn't serve, he didn't serve, his brother didn't serve, his sister didn't serve. There's no military connection in the close Trump family, and yet they feel like they can speak as an authority on what makes the military strong or what makes it weak. And so there you have him saying, oh, in Russia, yes, apparently he's praising Russia, oh, they just talk about their military being big and tough and masculine, whereas in the United States, we want to make the military woke and therefore weak. He thinks an inclusive, diverse military is a weak military, when I think it's probably the exact opposite, if we're being honest. But it's also connected to other things, like when it was announced that vaccines would be mandatory in the military, Donald Trump Jr. went on this huge rant about how this was bad, even though any military expert will say that if you don't take care of your troops and you don't prevent unnecessary damage to your military, you make yourself and your country weaker. So the actual policy that builds a strong military is in direct discordance with what the Trumps and the Republicans and the MAGA movement and the conservatives want with regard to mandates, right? And more than that, he's also using his massive platform to spread disinformation about Afghanistan. I don't even want to mention what he's saying here, but I have it up on the screen, making and sharing and reposting, making his profile picture wanton disinformation about what's happening in the Middle East. This guy is absolutely pathetic. He stinks, again, literally and figuratively, but we have to remember that as awful as this is, as pathetic as this is, as laugh-worthy as it is, laughing at him, not laughing at what he's saying, this guy is still a frontrunner for the GOP. That's how broken the Republican Party is. I don't want to beat a dead horse here, but the reality is when you take Daddy Trump out of the calculation and you say, who do you want in 2024? This guy is often second, maybe third behind people like Ron DeSantis, ahead of pretty much every other senator and major Republican. Whether we like it or not, whether it drives us crazy or not, Donald Trump Jr. represents mainstream opinion within the conservative movement, and that's terrifying.